It can't get any worse than this! Why did I read it wrong? Ah! My coworkers kept making fun of me. Okay, it was my bad, but...
You're really upset, Yuma. You shouldn't get so stressed over it. Stuff like that happens.
Shut up! That won't heal my broken heart. Ah! I can't live anymore! I want to die! I'll kill myself!
You said it again. Is it your pet phrase?
What? Pet phrase? I'm super serious!
Okay, sorry. But if you really want to die, then I'll eat you.
This guy, saying weird stuff in front of me, is my childhood friend, Yasuharu Kisumi. We've known each other since kindergarten. It's fair to say, he's my best buddy. But I just don't understand him when he says stuff like this.
I decided I don't want to die.
Oh, see? You weren't serious after all?
No, I was. It's your fault.
Huh? I don't see why you dislike the idea so much.
Nobody would like it, you cannibal.
Don't say that. It's love, you know? Love.
Nah. Why would you want to... Oops. Sorry, I gotta go.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Sure I can't walk you home?
Huh? Why? I'm not that drunk.
Well, you know. You didn't sleep that much yesterday, did you?
I'm completely fine. I'm a short sleeper.
Yeah, you'd sleep like a log back in high school.
Huh? Can't hear you.
Don't fall asleep on the way.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed that quick look into He's a Predator by Yuji Toraba. Big shout out to Canaria voicing the cashier and Salem and JBM voicing the main characters, Yuma and Yasuharu Kisumi. Did you catch that I only said the full name of one of them? That's because I could not, for the life of me, find out the full name of Yuma. I read through the manga several times and just didn't see it. So either I'm blind or I somehow missed it like a moron. Moving on, to give a really quick summary, it's about two childhood friends, a pessimistic TV host, reporter, something, and a handsome, capable guy who, now that I think about it, I have no idea what he does for work. But that's not important. What's important is that this is about their relationship that goes from friends to, well, as you'd expect, something more. First things first, if you're able to clearly separate fiction from reality, that's a step in the right direction. Because by no means is Yasuharu a good person, and I don't think anyone should be with someone like him in reality due to how dangerous and unhealthy it would probably be. But in terms of fiction, he's a really enticing character, because that's just the appeal of conceptions that aren't okay in reality, but aren't really hurting anyone in fiction. Second off, if you're not into yandere types, this probably isn't for you since he's pretty borderline yandere, or completely depending on your definition. But if you're still interested after all of that, then let's continue on. As I said, he's a borderline yan and quite the possessive guy. I mean, you have to be if you say something like, "If you're just gonna die, then I'll eat you." Besides that though, he's very doting, to the point where once he convinces Yuma to live with him, Yuma basically becomes so comfortable that he's practically a kept man. And by that I mean, Yasuharu could be a sugar daddy if Yuma stopped working. But we'll save more talk about Yasuharu's character for later. Back to the overall plot of the manga, we start off with a quick look at our two main characters' relationship and personality types. Yuma is the embodiment of many working adults, tired, overworked, and wants to die. He's given too much work all the time and is unfortunately the target of some sexual harassment as we learn a bit later on. Yasuharu appears to be the longtime caring and understanding friend, always there to listen to his complaints and comfort him. Although, thanks to Yuma's explanation, we're made aware that there's definitely more to him than what's on the surface. Whenever these two have their meetups, they usually go through the same routine. Yuma is distressed, says he wants to die, Yasuharu replies that he'll eat him if that's so, and Yuma, being a bit concerned, takes back his words because he's not into cannibalism. Now, if you've read your fair share of erotica, then you know eating someone can mean many things, but not vor in this case, I'm not into that. Anyway, the situation changes when Yuma finally agrees to be eaten because life is really kicking his ass, and he'd rather it all be over, which is pretty relatable content if you ask me. I mean, if you're gonna end it all, I guess might as well be done by your hot childhood friend? Well, that's probably not the moral of the story. So, back to what I was saying before, nothing drastic happens yet. Yuma stops him, and Yasuharu starts crying because in reality, it breaks his heart every time Yuma says he wants to die. And as the calculating top he is, uses the situation to coerce his bottom into living with him so that he could take care of him. I mean, this guy's got his eye on the prize, and I respect that. And as I said earlier, this is where his doting and yandere side come through when it's immediately shown how comfortable Yuma is living with Yasuharu and is on his way to becoming dependent. I personally love seeing characters being spoiled and pampered by people who love them, unless the one being spoiled is an asshole and or annoying in a fiction. Now, where it really gets spicy is when Yuma gets jealous and drunk and takes the pessimistic route of telling Yasuharu how he's chosen someone else over him and refusing to listen to otherwise. That's when the yandere part really kicks, and you're either into it, immediately want to call the cops, or both. This manga doesn't have gore though, so nothing in that regard happens. What we do get though are imprisonment and lots of Yasuharu punishing Yuma. For those of you who continue on and are like, is there anyone with a moral compass around? There's a yes and a no to that. Before the house arrest, we do see a couple of people who seem like they have concerns about the nature of the main character's relationship, like the makeup artist at Yuma's work, and Nakachi, a mutual friend / old classmate of Yuma and Yasuharu. It's Nakachi who represents the voice of concern we all have ringing in our heads while reading, telling Yuma to be careful about dependency and confronting Yasuharu about how the way he's handling things is too extreme. While worried, he doesn't step in any further than that though, leaving his two friends to make their own decisions and probably hoping for the best. On one hand, I respect that he respects that they're going to make their own decisions and there's nothing he can do about it. On the other hand, in reality, if this ever happens to a friend of yours, it might actually be a time to step in. In a way, I think Nakachi represents us as readers, where we probably wish we could say or do something about the situation, but there's nothing we can do but stand by. Continuing on, Yasuharu says something that really gave me chills due to how honest and frightening it was.
I've never wished, not even once, for Yuma to be happy without me. Of course, I'll make him happy.
What raw, possessive energy. After that, he returns home to find that Yuma has gotten his handcuffs off, but hasn't escaped. Because, whether you guessed it or not, Yuma's got more issues besides being pessimistic. He did some self-reflection while Yasuharu was away to realize that he's desperately afraid of not being needed, and that all along, a part of him decided to just pretend Yasuharu's feelings for him weren't obvious, so they'd keep pursuing him, even acknowledging that there's no one who loves and needs him more than Yasuharu does. After some back and forth, they finally seal the deal and become a couple. All in all, they're a pair of lovers where one desperately loves the other, and the other wants to be desperately loved. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that in fiction, or in reality, as long as there's proper boundaries and understanding between the couple. To sum it all up, He's a Predator is a wild ride, but if you're up for it, I don't think you'll regret it, either because you're interested in the story, like how the characters are portrayed, or are just into the art style. If you'd like to take a read yourself, you can find it on ebook Renta for rent at $4 or 400 points for 48 hours, or keep it forever at $7 or 700 points. Quick disclaimer, I'm not sponsored by them or anything and actually only got an account recently for the sole purpose of reading this manga. I have no regrets. Anyway, it's a neat website that basically has all the steamy manga you can't find anywhere else. Even if you feel unsure or don't quite want to commit to making an account or purchasing the manga, you can still read the preview to see if it'll make you change your mind, which is what happened to me. Honestly, if you don't, I feel like it might be a missed opportunity, seeing as how there were plenty of things I didn't mention from the manga either. It's a mystery until you read it yourself. Whatever you choose to do, I just hope that this review was able to at least make you check out the Renta page for it. Please also check out my friends Salem, JBM, and Canaria if you can too. Thanks for sticking with me to the end of this. I really hope you enjoyed or got something out of it. Let me know your thoughts, or if you wouldn't mind hearing another review from me, feel free to leave me suggestions too. Until next time, if there is a next time.